Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. This is Lydia.
Alyssa.
And this week we're doing They Both Die in the End by Adam Silvera. I think it's Silvera.
I think it's Silvera also.
That's what I thought too.
So.
Man, we're on the same note.
Sometimes.
This book is 389 pages and it is not available on KU.
No.
I think it was $13 on Kindle. $12 maybe?
No, we got the first book for like $2.99.
$2.99 is what it was. Okay.
The second book in the series, which we did not read.
Yeah.
But it's a prequel
to
everything. That one's the one that was like $12.99.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
So we held off on that because we wanted to see how this one was first.
Okay.
But the description for the book is as so. On September 5th, a little after midnight, Death Cast calls Mateo Torres and Rufus Emeterio to give them some bad news. They're going to die today. Mateo and Rufus are total strangers, but for different reasons. They're both looking to make a new friend on their end day. The good news, there's an app for that. It's called The Last Friend, and through it, Rufus and Mateo are about to meet up for one last great adventure, to live a lifetime in a single day. In the tradition of Before I Fall and If I Stay, They Both Die at the End is a tour de force from acclaimed author Adam Silvera, whose debut, More Happy Than Not, the New York Times called profound. Trigger warnings are death of a parent, grief, gun violence, car accident, and violence. You can go ahead and open it. Miss Ma'am, you have the reviews this time.
All right. Starting off, it is overall rating a 3.86 on Storygraph. First review is 4 stars. I'm not crying. You're crying. 4 stars, 4.5 actually. Worth a read, and it makes you think. 3.75. My whole way throughout this book was such a fun journey. I loved how it was written and the plot itself, but I lost a lot of my love for it at the ending. 5 stars, so effing good. Highly recommend. And then this one is 3 stars. Good and heartfelt, but ended abruptly.
Okay.
So mixed reviews.
Mixed reviews, as always.
Yeah, 4.
Now for our thoughts.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
Thank you, James. That was beautiful as always.
This book was so sad.
It was. I mean, the title is They Both Die in the End,
so,
but I was not prepared.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I started reading it, and I knew you already read it, but I was ready to apologize to you, because I was just like, oh my god, this is so sad.
Yeah, you recommended it, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, dang, this is heavy.
So, the reason why we started reading it, though, is because I was in Walmart one day, and I saw it in their book aisle, and I'm like, that actually kind of looks interesting.
It does look very interesting.
The cover, I'm a cover girl.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Vogue. So, I kind of do judge books by its cover, which is not what you're supposed to do, I know, but.
That's like me with the ones where I don't read them with shirtless guys, but, I'm also the same exact way. I try not to, but it's gonna happen.
But it looked enticing, and the title was kind of interesting, so that's how we got into that.
I love the idea of the Death Cast.
I don't.
I loved it, because it's
No.
I believe, in the Bible, and how you're born, and God knows, the number of your days and stuff like that. But if we had the Death Cast, and we got a call the day that we would die, we could make things with our family okay. Me, I have 2 kids. I could get my will and all that in order and all my affairs, tell them goodbye, instead of just abruptly dying where I don't get that chance.
I understand it from that point of view, but I'm terrified of death.
Oh, I'd be terrified, yeah.
I'm terrified of death, so I can't even imagine living in a world where, you just get a phone call at, midnight, and it's just hey, by the way, you're gonna die today.
Can't tell you when or how, but, Mateo was, terrified to leave.
Yeah.
But he was either way, I'm gonna die, so I might as well. Eventually he got to the part where he was I might as well do it.
I thought it was really sad, though, that he spent his time cleaning.
Yeah.
Because he was just I know, Dad's gonna come back, and he's not gonna want to come back to, honestly. A messy house. I get it, though.
That's exactly what I would do.
But it made me really sad.
I would make things as easy as possible for my husband.
Yeah.
If I were to pass. But that's why I like the idea of knowing. Because, it's not death itself that scares me. It's the fact that, what is everyone else going to do? Because I don't want to, toot my own horn, but I'm highly relied upon. And so I don't know what people would do without me.
Yeah.
So, the Death Cast would be cool, because, I can be hey,
Let's
sorry,
get my affairs in
I got the
order.
call. Let's do what we can to help you tomorrow
Yeah.
and for the next years, you know?
But, like, at the same time, it's like, this is my second note because it was something that was mentioned in the first chapter.
Yeah.
Imagine you're there, you get a phone call saying that your 4-year-old child is going to die. And, like, that's your 4-year-old child's last day.
That happened to Rufus.
Mhm.
Was the parents got a call, and then they said, "Is your wife in the room?" So I talked to her, then they said, "Is your daughter in the room?" And that's when they lost it.
And the grandparent. I don't remember if it was a grandma or grandpa, but it was the
Was it?
grandparent too.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember the grandparent. But that broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't handle a death call for one of my kids. Mm-mm.
No. I can't handle it for me, let alone literally anybody else.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. For me, I feel like it'd be helpful, but for my kids, I would be absolutely losing it if it was
Yeah.
my kids. Yeah.
I probably would try to do everything I could possibly can to, like, try to ensure it
Try to ensure it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what Rufus was thinking in the book, I think.
But, you know.
I'm in the book.
You
Lydia.
are.
Yeah.
Spelled differently, though.
Yep. I've had people spell my name that way, and I'm like, that's dumb. I didn't know people actually spelled it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because mine's
Apparently.
Lydia.
Yeah.
I'm super nice, though.
You
And
are.
I have a kid.
You do.
Ew.
Yeah. And you're a good mom.
I am a good mom. Bro, Rufus was literally kicking somebody's rear.
Butt, yeah.
Like his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend when he got the call. And then he's like, "Oh, it's that guy's phone." And he's like beating him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm fixing to kill him." And then realizes it's his phone. And he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh." Man, imagine how embarrassing that would be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna kick your butt in a fight, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna die that day, you know?
Which, I mean, Peck had every right to be upset about it.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, because he got beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
But he was so awful to him.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally tried to kill him on his death day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
you're trying to, like, ruin... He tried putting him in jail.
He had, yeah, like at his funeral, and he like gets his girlfriend's phone, texts his friend saying, "Hey, this is where I'm at, send the cops."
Yeah.
Why would Amy bring him to the funeral? anyways?
Yeah.
Are you
Especially since she
dumb?
knows what happened.
She knows she's not in the dark here.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad about Amy being mad at Rufus since he, did that, but like he did that.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to fess up, but like not by calling the police. He's gonna die.
And
That's his
I
punishment.
don't understand why the police were so adamant about getting him anyway.
In the
'Cause-
end, they weren't because it showed like the police officer's perspective.
Did it?
Yeah. It says the officer letting the
Oh, yeah,
Plutos
yeah.
go is sweet because he was like, well, my partner got the death cast call,
Mm.
and I didn't get to spend much time with him because he got killed by a thug.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I want them to have as much time together as
Yeah.
they can. So I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah.
We're jumping around.
The last friend app was giving Tinder vibes.
Do it. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was like a bunch of people on there that were like, yo, you want to hook up since it's your last day? And then I'm just like, really glad
That's
book
what
didn't
the
go that
other
route.
app is for.
Yeah.
The Necro whatever app.
Yeah.
I don't like the name.
No.
That just sounds gross.
Yeah. Mm-mm. And like they're calling it necromancy, but they're not dead yet.
Yeah.
That's really bothersome. I guess you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about pregnancy unless you're the girl in that scenario
Yeah.
and you're living.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wrote Rufus mad before random words is bothering me.
Huh? You're pulling a me.
Yeah, I don't remember what I wrote that for.
I
I know he talks stupid. Oh! When he says, that's mad cool, that's mad dumb. And I'm just like, that's bothering me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have put that in quotation so I understood that better. But yeah, he was like, that's mad serious. And I'm like, that's so annoying. Like, I get he's a teenager.
Yeah.
I say that when I'm being ironic. I'm like, oh, I'm mad dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't actually say it. It was in there at least 50 times.
Yeah.
It was driving me nuts.
Yeah. I cried a little bit. Like, teared up. Not cried. I teared up.
Yeah, can't be sad.
No.
Mm-mm.
Can't be sad.
No.
When Mateo went to visit his father in the hospital
Oh my God, that was my
and
next
wrote the note on
too.
the back of that photo,
When he got that photo and wrote the note on it, I started tearing up really bad.
I was so sad.
I was just like, man, this dad's been in a coma for like a couple weeks, and then he's gonna wake up and his son's gonna be dead.
If he wakes up.
If he wakes up, his son's gonna be dead. That was so sad. This book was like
Yeah.
a tearjerker.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you're really depressed.
Yeah.
I also think that Mateo should have told Lydia up front.
That was my exact same next note.
Yeah, he should have told her up front that he was gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, getting the money out and leaving it for her was super sweet.
Yeah.
But like leaving it and just
not saying
bleeding.
anything.
Yeah.
And blocking her phone number.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
She relies on him.
Emotionally, if not, physically.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, that was bad.
Yeah.
But, like, she knew immediately. Like, she saw the money and knew. Like, he probably got the call or whatever. Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Rufus not getting to be with his family, like his adopted family, was super sad.
Yeah. When he had to get...
Because he had to
run.
Yeah, he had to be on the run. Because Peck.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It made me sad.
They did meet up later. But still.
That's nice. I loved that. They got the chance to have their, like, final kind of goodbye.
Bro, when it kept mentioning Delilah, denying it, she was like the reporter, and then she was like got the call from the death cast, but like her ex-fiance worked there, so she thought he was doing it just to piss her off because they broke off the engagement the day before. And so she was like, no, it couldn't be me. And then she almost dies like 3 times. I'm like, they have a website that you can check. And she's like, nah, surely not me. And then she calls her fiance, and then she's like, okay, I'm on it. And then I think she dies before he gets there or something like that.
Yeah, because I think it was... Something happened. I think they were meeting at the diner. I think. I listened to it through the audiobook. I wasn't reading it. Not audiobook, but like Alexa assisted reading.
Yeah, because I know that she was involved in a car wreck, and then like an explosion, and then the third thing, whatever that was, it killed her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it killed her.
I think it was a bomb.
Yeah, that was the bomb that Mateo and Rufus was outside for.
Yeah, but I think it was another bomb. Like
Maybe.
It was a second bomb.
Maybe.
Whatever it was.
It was Ben.
Yeah.
Because he was angry for some reason. And so he was trying to bomb stuff.
When that part came up, when he bombed, like, was it the gym?
Yes.
My mouth dropped open.
Yeah.
I'm, like, driving, and then, like, he said that, and I was just like...
Excuse you?
I'm like, that's how they're gonna die?
Bro, I was stressed reading this book. Yeah. Anytime anything got a little bit serious, I was just gripping the book like, please don't.
Yeah.
Because, like, the further on it went, the more in love with these characters I felt. Yeah. And I was like, I really want this to be a happy ending where...
We know it's not going to
be,
I know,
because the name of the book is They Both Die in the End.
Yeah.
But I'm like, maybe it's going to be like, oh, we found a way to survive it. We're going to be happy together. But no. Yeah. They both died in the end. I actually cried. Did you cry?
I cried. No. And I think that's just because... Well, actually, I think I teared up when Mateo died.
Yeah.
But... I didn't, like, full-on tear up or cry, really, at the end. Only because I felt like it was kind of, like, would you call it ambiguous?
Maybe.
Because they didn't explicitly say how Rufus died. They just said
he got hit
crossed
by a car.
I figured that was the case.
It heavily insinuated, but it didn't say it.
He crossed a street without anyone holding him back.
Yeah.
That's what it said, and that's
because
how the book
earlier,
ends.
Mateo stopped him from walking without looking.
Yeah.
And so Rufus put on earbuds and then walked down the street
and
without looking.
Yeah. Which I don't think at that point he really cared.
Yeah.
At that point, because
not
he knew
after watching Mateo die. Yeah.
But then here's the thing, though, right? So Mateo is because he gets the call.
Yeah.
And he starts writing notes to all of his neighbors, being like, "Listen, like, this
don't worry,
going on. Don't be worried about this, and that." One of his things that he wrote in the note:
"Don't worry about the stove.
Don't worry about the stove.
The gas was leaking."
And yet, towards the end of the book,
he turned on the stove. to make tea,
which is super sweet.
Yeah.
But he knew the stove was faulty. So did he just forget about it?
It was his death day, but I guess he was like, "We haven't had a problem with it yet, so like surely this isn't what's going to kill me." And of course, it exploded.
Yeah,
and killed him.
Yeah, and I'm just like, damn,
man, I cried when Rufus was like telling them help him.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Did he get the death cast?" And he said no, and he died. Obviously he did, but Rufus was like, "If I tell them no, they're not going to help him," and so he said no. And then he died, like, on the way or at the hospital. So then Rufus went and talked to Mateo's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's when he left and he got ran over.
Yeah.
I cried so hard. It was so sad.
The whole book was sad.
It was. Man. I love the time stamping.
Me too.
Yeah.
That we've talked before in other books where, like, they didn't give you, like...
This was perfect for that.
It was.
I loved it so much.
Because, the whole, like, chronological
yeah, and the way everything ties together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially, like, even with other people's point of views, because everyone, like...
Everyone sees everyone. They just don't realize it.
Yes. Which is pretty much how life is.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, they're all connected, but they're not connected.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
I know. I love that aspect of it.
I also liked how, when they jumped into, like, a new person's perspective, they started off the chapter with... Blank didn't get a call from Deathcast because Blank isn't dying today.
Yeah, or they did get it and they're dying
the call because they're dying today or whatever.
Yeah,
I really
thought
that.
That was so cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, you normally repetitive stuff gets on my nerves, but, like, I love that. That was really cool.
Oh, Peck going to the club to shoot him
with a gun
was giving Copacabana vibes.
Yeah. Man, that was really pissing me off.
That made me sad. And I thought that was, like, the second time when I was just like, this is how he's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
But then he didn't.
When Rufus gave away his bicycle, because Mateo was scared of it, because he was like, we're gonna die if we ride that bike. So Rufus was like, okay, and then gave it to some dude.
That was kind of sweet.
That was really sweet. Yeah.
Especially since the kid wouldn't, like, wanting a bike.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and he was like, what's the catch? And he was like, no catch, you can just have it. I like that Rufus and Mateo fell in love.
That was sweet.
Yeah, because I kind of figured that would happen because when Mateo and Rufus matched on the, what was it?
The Last Friend
app, yeah, and it said that Rufus was bi, I was like, is that what's going to happen?
Yeah. Because,
like, I didn't see anywhere that was going to happen. Like, this is not like anything with something like this. They'll usually, like, label it LGBTQ.
This one does.
It does?
On Storygraph it does.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was reading it and I was like, normally, like, if it says something like that, then, like, normally if there's, like, same-sex couples.
No, it does. Here, I got it pulled up for you right there.
I did not know that was on there.
Yeah, I noticed it because I was looking at my pie chart or my graphs for my TBR list, and I noticed a couple of the books that I actually have saved for my TBR are LGBTQA+. So I was just like, which ones? And then I saw it was this one, and I was like, oh. And then I looked at the cover, and I'm like, you know what? That kind of makes sense because it's two boys walking really close next to each other.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that
that
checks out, man.
Man, that made it so much worse for me, though. Yeah. Because I'm like, they fell in love and then they died. Like, at least if they were friends and they died, that would be sad, but they fell in love and died.
At least they, like, got their moment together before they died.
Yeah. That's why I really respected the Last Friend app. Because, and then it talks about the two girls on the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, one of them was trying to match with Mateo, but then he met Rufus, but then she found another friend, and then the creator of the app was on the same train as them and overheard them talking about it. And then she saw the two boys and was like, I wonder if one of them is on the app, and both of them were. Yeah. And I was just, because, you know, the creator of the app was feeling down because she's like, I don't know why I even made this, and, like, no, you know, she didn't like the idea of it. But then that was 4 people that had helped within a 5-minute span that she ran into that day. That's crazy to me.
That, again, like, the whole different perspectives on how everyone's connected but isn't connected.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, then Deirdre, I don't know how to say her name.
Deidre?
Maybe Deidre. Make a Memory. She seems so sad. And, like, I don't think it ever really explained what was wrong with her.
I don't think no. Did they have a perspective of her?
They did, but I don't remember what it says.
I remember she was really, like, depressed because, like, she does this for a living where she's, like, letting people, like, spend their last day.
Yeah.
It's sad that, like, the city, I guess, or the government is making a profit off of it by creating, like, companies like this where it's just like, here, just for, like, $250 you can pretend to be jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
You know? And, like...
And it's, like, so expensive. But at the same time, he's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I won't be using that money anymore.
Yeah.
But, like, what if you couldn't afford that?
Yeah.
What if you could not afford a last experience?
Yeah.
And so you just sat there twiddling your thumb waiting to die.
Yeah.
That really sucked.
But I think it's the whole depressing aspect where, like, people are only coming to her because, like...
They're dying.
They need that one last thrill.
Yeah.
You know? So, that might be why.
I like the, what was it, the World Travel Arena?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot better. Because they were able to do more there.
Although, like, I, as a person who has traveled out of the country, I would have wanted to be there myself in person. Like, that probably was a good experience to kind of just dip your toe in to get an idea. And just
if you don't have enough time to get on a plane and go over there.
I think so, but if it were me, I'd rather go experience it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, Mateo lived his whole life trying to be careful so that way he wouldn't die. And then all of a sudden, he got the death call.
Yeah.
Or death cast call.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I really like the death cast idea.
I don't, but we already talked about that.
Yeah. It hit me in the feels, and I loved every minute of it.
Do you think people who are suicidal get the call? So they know that, like, if they commit suicide?
Yes, because at one point there was a lady in the book, can't remember her name, she was wanting to kill herself, but she said, I know I'm not going to die today because I didn't get the call.
Yeah.
And so she stepped down off the ledge, and that was like, oh my gosh.
I listened through it to an audiobook, so I might have missed that part. That might be why. But
I don't remember what she had. It tied her in a time or two, I think. But yeah, she's on a ledge or something, but she was about to kill herself, or was thinking about it, and then she was like,
I didn't get the call today, so it's not going to work.
Yeah, I didn't get the call today, so I know I'm not going to die. And then she steps off the ledge and it goes to the next chapter.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Imagine putting all your faith in something like that. Like, that's just wild to me. Like, I know I'm going to die today because I didn't get the call.
Yeah.
And, like, imagine you died. Be like, yo, what happened?
But there has to be some sort of, like, algorithm or something where
They said that there is an algorithm that scientists have come up with that they could figure out who was going to die that day based on something and numbers or whatever.
It's just weird.
Yeah, like that. There's no way that could happen.
It has to be something.
Absolutely no way. But the fact that they don't know how or when they're going to die, but they know the day, just seems kind of sus to me. But, like, imagine getting a call and they're like, you're going to die 6 hours from now. You would be looking at the clock counting down every single second.
That's probably why they don't say when, if they know when.
They don't know when, but if they did, I would hope that they wouldn't be like, oh, you're dying in 5 hours. And that one lady that was just trying to get through as many calls as she could, and she kept getting people's names wrong.
That's so insensitive.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, I have the highest record for calls in one day, and I'm trying to beat it.
Well, that's not flex.
Yeah. No. And then she's like, Mateo's like, my name's Mateo. And then she kept calling him Matthew or something. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just got off the phone with some guy, and he was crying about it, and he was a mess, and I had to talk to him forever. Anyways, you're going to die today.
I don't like her.
Yeah, because he like got excited, not really excited, but relieved because he was like, oh, my name's not Matthew, it's Mateo. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I got the wrong name, sorry. That pissed me off so much. I was like, man, what a jerk.
Well, I mean, and then again, like, to have a job like that, you got to be a little insensitive because you can't be blubbering every single time you call someone saying, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, but you're gonna die today.
Yeah, I couldn't do that job. No, get your fares and orders. I'm sorry, you're gonna die. I mean, what else do you do?
Yeah.
If you just don't answer, do they go to voicemail?
They'd probably just keep calling, I think.
That, or it doesn't stop ringing until you answer, maybe.
I think it will keep trying to call you.
Yeah. Man.
I think that happened to someone where, like, because I guess it's a special ringtone.
Yeah.
So you know it's
supposed to be a special sound.
So it'll just keep
It
calling
may have
you.
been Rufus that didn't answer.
I think so.
It may have been him.
But regardless, he didn't answer. And, like, obviously you have a way to check. So, like, you get the phone call, you know it's going to be you, regardless. Yeah. And you could check online and all that.
Man, I can't. This book was so deep.
You know what was really creepy, though? When he went to go visit his mom's grave, and they were digging his grave right next to hers.
Oh, that would send me for a loop. Oh, man. Yeah, then they're like, get out of the way, kid. And then Rufus is like, that's his grave you're digging. Can he have a minute? You know, and they both sat in it.
That was really sweet that Rufus was doing all this stuff to kind of, like, make
it okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all that. I loved that. Mm-hmm. But the whole book was just so sad.
It was. Man, it was just definitely heartfelt and, like, made you think a lot about life and, like, how much you take for granted in it.
Yeah. Oh, I did cry when Lydia learned that Mateo died. That's when I cried.
I teared up really bad.
I remember exactly what road I was on, too, when I was listening to it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember hearing that, and I just started sobbing. It was literally right before I was about to walk into work, too.
Yeah.
Like, I just got so sad.
That would ruin my day.
I think I forgot about it later, though, but...
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Not that big, then.
Yeah.
No, that made me so sad.
That's kind of all I have on that.
That's all I have, too.
What are your final thoughts? Buzzwords.
Wow. Thought-provoking and heartfelt. Pretty much everything I already said.
I said sad. It was a slow start.
It was a slow start.
And left asking questions.
Yeah, there was a few questions. Maybe in the prequel we'll have more answers.
Yeah.
If we do that one. It's the first to die in the end.
Yeah. Which I guess would be about Mateo. Because he was the first one to die.
I did not even think about that. You were so smart.
Sometimes I am, you know.
Congratulations. Yeah, so I guess it would be about Mateo.
I assume.
I guess we'll have to see. I give this a 5 out of 5.
I gave it a 4.25.
Stop! Can you give anything a 5?
I have given a couple things a 5.
What?
The Dead Romantics and Perfect Strangers.
Why not this?
And Tuesdays with Maury.
Why not this?
I think it was really sad.
Yeah.
And it was really good though. I would recommend it for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely book trophy worthy.
I could actually read this one again, and I don't reread books. So I think this one is really good.
I think it's just because I don't really read sad books.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was like as sad as it was.
Yeah.
Like I said, like
it's gut wrenching.
When I first started reading it, I wanted to apologize for reading it because I'm like
I'm
sorry I picked this because this is so sad.
Yeah, it was so sad.
So I think that's kind of why it knocked me down a little bit.
Yeah.
Plus also like I think it's cool for the world, but I hate the idea of like the death cast being a thing.
Yeah, I still feel like it'd be like a really useful tool to have, because you, like, again, you could get like your affairs in order and just try to be there for your family and tell them I'm sorry.
Yeah,
even though it's not your fault. I would be apologizing nonstop, personally. But yeah, I think that's it for this one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, we'll see you in the next episode. This has been Bibliophiles, Audiophiles.
Don't forget to email us or DM us recommendations and ratings and reviews for books. The email is biblioaudiopod@gmail.com. Our Instagram is biblioaudiopodcast.
Summerton,
October 14th.
9 a.m.
That's in Alabama.
Alabama Summerton, because I don't know if we said it in the past. But we'll be there with merch and like a meet and greet, business cards, and hopefully expanding our platform a little bit. So follow us on Instagram and review us on Spotify.
Oh yeah, do the reviews. That's cool.
Yeah.
Apparently, we enjoy that.
Apparently, it would help.
Apparently
so. Yeah, no. Okay, so we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.